Today we're going to talk about how I got the name The Mad Drummer. The answer might surprise you. Alright, most of you know me as that crazy drummer from YouTube, so it's likely not a stretch to assume that's how I got the name The Mad Drummer. However, you'd be wrong. Now, if you've ever seen me play drums, I'm sure that you would agree I don't like to draw too much attention to myself. I try and just blend in. Alright, so maybe that's a small fib. Now, I know I can be a bit comical on YouTube, but anybody who really knows me knows I'm actually a pretty serious guy. In all seriousness, the name The Mad Drummer was never really intended to be about me. So where did it come from? Somewhere around the late 90s, early 2000s, we saw a big boom in branding. That's not to imply that branding hasn't always been a thing, but people really wanted to wear clothing that represented something. They didn't want to just buy a shirt that they bought at JCPenney's. Around this period, television shows like West Coast Choppers, Monster Garage, and Orange County Choppers were starting to become very popular. Now, I got my first motorcycle when I was 5 years old, and I've also had a few Harleys in my life, so I was hooked immediately. But even if you didn't own a Harley, a lot of people still wanted to be a part of something. They wanted something that expressed who they were, or at least who they'd like to be. Maybe they couldn't afford a bike, but they could likely afford a shirt. And practically overnight, nearly everyone was wearing an Orange County Choppers t-shirt. Now, this probably won't come as a shock, but I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Oh, it's true! It's damn true!
So I'm watching wrestling, and I see The Undertaker with a shirt, and it says Dead Man Inc. That really stuck with me. A few days later, I'm out on the road with Rick Kay and the All-Nighters, and my roommate for this leg of the tour was Bob Leitner, the guitar player. We had just finished a show, and I was exhausted, so I went straight to bed. However, around 3 a.m. I woke up, and Bob was still working on his laptop. I looked at him and said, Mad Drummer Inc. He said, I like that. What is it? I said, I have no idea. And I went back to bed. I knew I wanted to do something with the name. I just didn't know what. The internet wasn't what it is now. Not everyone had a website, especially drummers, but some did. So in my spare time, I created a database or a registry of drummer websites I often went to. It sounds almost ridiculous now, but things like Google search, it wasn't quite there yet. And if you didn't know the exact domain name, you might not be able to even find it. It was something I can do in hotel rooms or riding the bus, and anybody that knows me knows I tend to be a little radical when it comes to research anyway.
You don't say!
So I bought the name maddrummerinc.com, and I started a website. It wasn't easy like it is now. In fact, it was quite the challenge. So I just bought a stack of books and taught myself some basic coding. I just listed any drum website I could find and put them in alphabetical order. So it was basically a drummer directory, kind of like a phone book for drummer websites. People seemed to like it, so I started selling merchandise. T-shirts, hoodies, that kind of thing. I really went all in. Then I started selling Mad Drummer Inc. merchandise at Rick Kay shows. I did really well with it, and credit where it's due, Rick never had an issue with it. Let's face it, most singers wouldn't like the idea of sharing the merchandise table with the drummer. Keep in mind, this was long before the Drummer at the Wrong Gig video. Again, credit where it's due. All the years we were together, and merchandise was never an issue. However, it finally got to a point where people started associating me with the merchandise. After the show, people would say, "Hey, can we get that Mad Drummer to sign this?" And that was it. From that point forward, I was the Mad Drummer. So what happened to Mad Drummer Inc.? Well, again, Mad Drummer Inc. was just a website with links to other drummers. Shortly after starting it, I discovered a website called drummerworld.com. It blew anything I had completely out of the water. It had forums, bios, videos, you name it. As soon as I found it, I just deleted Mad Drummer Inc. As I had mentioned, by that point, everyone was calling me the Mad Drummer. So I found an entertainment lawyer and purchased a trademark to the name. Then I just created a new website called The Mad Drummer. Later on, the Drummer at the Wrong Gig video happened, and the founder of Drummer World actually contacted me. I'm sure I'm going to butcher his name, but I believe it was Bernhard Castiglione. I'm pretty sure he's from Switzerland. Not sure if this one slipped by you, gang, but I don't exactly talk like I'm from Switzerland. Don't talk. I don't talk. 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 That definitely got 2 syllables, ain't it? Talk. I growed up in a place more comparable to hee-haw.
Well, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone?
Well, any old how, he wanted to let me know that he added my name to Drummer World. I've had some really great things happen over the years, but seeing my own name added to Drummer World really meant a lot. It's been part of my morning routine for years. Check my calendar, check my email, well, then go check Drummer World to see what's new. I know that I have kind of a unique thing, but the drummers on Drummer World, those are legends. I'm just some dude from hee-haw.
I searched the world over and I thought I'd found true love. You met another and you was gone.
All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. I know I've been going a while, but I got some cool stuff coming. So if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you've enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like. And for those interested in merchandise, you can pick that up at themaddrummer.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Thanks. Thanks. Now, if you've ever, that's the word, ever. in all seriousness, so if you haven't already subscribed, check. Okay. Is the audio on? Is it working? Talk. Talk.